Toki mai and welcome back to Breakfast. It is 20 to 7. We're seeing an influx of medical migrants keen on relocating to New Zealand, including hundreds from war-torn Israel. It comes nearly a year after New Zealand's green list made it easier to bring these workers in. So for more on how they'll help ease our dire shortages, we're joined by Accent Health Recruitment's Prudence Thompson. Always a pleasure to have you with us, Prudence.
Thank
how are you?
Really good.
So you're saying we've had an uptick since the green list last year, which was the work to residency pathway, right, for our medical professionals?
Yeah, we've had a huge amount of interest on the green list, and people are now realising that New Zealand is a destination of choice, great work-life balance, and we need all the medical professionals.
What jobs are they coming in for? Because that's one question. The other one is, what jobs do we need filling?
Right. We need all medical professionals to come to New Zealand. We need GPs, midwives, allied health, so that's OT, physio, social worker. Right. We need mental health filling, emergency department, as you can imagine. So we need pretty much all medical professionals, nurses, doctors, midwives and allied health.
I want to go back to the green list just very quickly because, like I said, it was a work to residency pathway which has been open for about a year now, right?
Yes.
So it was only open to specialist doctors in the first instance, but now that's opened up a little bit more. So it means that, you know, those workers can come in on a work visa but then can apply for residency straight away. Yep. So how much, again, is the difference that has made?
Look, it's huge. So they can actually apply for residency from offshore. Right. And the published waiting time for residency is 11 months, but we're getting our doctors get full residency, start to finish from application in about 4 to 5 weeks. They're actually made a priority, which is fantastic. So they apply for residency. We do all the due diligence with reference checking, police checking, health, police clearances. So it's quite a big process before they apply. So the processing time is about 6 months in total to get them to that process, to get their application in for residency, and they're getting that within weeks, which is great. I think immigration are doing a good job. So
you don't know exactly what those numbers are, but you do know in your position that the number of applications has gone up.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've been...
interest.
Yeah, the interest has been huge. Yeah. I've been recruiting for 25 years and it's always been pretty steady. 62% of our doctors are trained offshore or come from offshore, so we're used to a mixed sort of workforce, which is great. But we do need these medical professionals, and they're needed all around the world. There's a global shortage of medical professionals, but New Zealand does need them too.
Tell me about the Israeli medical professionals that are interested in coming here to New Zealand, because we're talking a couple hundred, right?
Yeah, well, several hundred. Yeah. So I've been recruiting for Israel for the last few years. There's 26 countries that are listed as comparable with...
Yeah, so what does that mean?
Yeah, so the Medical Council states which countries will be comparable to working in New Zealand. So the UK, USA, France, Germany, Canada, there's a list of 26 countries and Israel's on that list, which is great. Exceptionally well-trained doctors. The majority have schooled overseas in the US, and these Israeli doctors sadly want to exit their country with their families.
But you're still able to communicate even now?
Yeah, so we do have instances where they have sirens and alerts go off and they've got some attacks in their local area, which is pretty tough. So I was Zooming a doctor the other night and he said, just give me a minute's pause and I'll go to the shelter, which is really tough. Their kids... they want to keep some sort of normality for their kids, but they know that they're going to be looking at migrating to New Zealand, and these are exceptionally well-trained doctors. Amazing.
I feel like this is a bit of a handbrake because we're talking about what's going on there. But also, if we come back here to Aotearoa, New Zealand, we know that our medical system is also under strain, right? With, and you mentioned it earlier, you know, we don't have enough doctors and nurses to fill many spaces here. So I just wonder about those who are coming in from overseas and if they're aware of that, but that's obviously not deterring them.
No, and look, I'm honest with them, and when they have an interview, I suggest they have a second interview and a second chat with their, the colleagues going to be working with. If I have a GP coming to a practice, I say, look, have a second Zoom round the practice, have a look and see what the team room's like, chat to the nursing colleagues, have a chat offline and talk about realistically what your patient times are. But patient times for the GP, I don't know how long you spend with your GP, I can't get out within 15 minutes, but, often in Singapore it's 10 minutes, in the UK 12 minutes, in New Zealand it's 15 to 20 minutes. So our patient times are good. There's global shortages of medical professionals. They know that it's not paradise, but they do have a good work-life balance.
I want to talk about shortly the fact that you're heading off overseas to speak to different people. But where's the main interest coming from for those medical professionals that want to come into the country?
Well, we go to the US in December, so in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We've got a presentation in Los Angeles, which is always booked out. It's great fun talking to Americans. A lot of them are slow burns, as we say. They take a long time to make their decision. And then in April, I go to the Netherlands and meet some amazing Dutch GPs. There's sort of a really great group there. Again, a comparable health system. And then London, and then back to Singapore, and fantastic nurses from Singapore. So we are doing what we can to invest as much as we can into getting some really good medical professionals and sort of smooth the pathway for these medical migrants and make New Zealand just a little bit easier to come to than Australia.
Yeah, and I guess, again, the way our health system is at the moment, it's good to know that there is interest from overseas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Prudence Thompson, as always, lovely to have you join us this morning from Accent Health Recruitment.
Yeah.
Thank you. And travel well.
Yeah, and bye-bye Matty. That's, yeah.
We're not talking about
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah,
Head and sand.
We're pretending like that's not happening. Thank you,
Thanks,
though, Prudence. Appreciate it. Right, stay with us.